Nothing says it's scary season like participating in 2 readathons and having my own TBR game and 2 special projects going on at the same time. But here we are. Hello, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be talking about my Trick-or-Treat-a-thon TBR. Trick-or-Treat-a-thon is a readathon hosted predominantly on Discord, but they also have an Instagram, so I will link both of those things down below. It is not too late to participate. You can join at any time throughout the month. So if you've never heard of Trick-or-Treat-a-thon, it is a team-based Halloween-themed bingo board style readathon. I will link the Discord and the Instagram down below, so I won't go into too much detail here, but basically you can choose one of 2 size boards, except this year I think they opened it up so that you can have more than one of each bingo board if you want. I kept it easy on myself and I just did one of the 3x3 bingo boards, which means I only had to fill out 9 squares, and we will talk about in a minute, the middle square can be any book, so I didn't pick a book for that. Again, I'm not going to get into a ton of detail here, but if you are at all interested, you can go check out the Discord. It's never too late to join. This is my 3rd year doing this readathon, and I always have a lot of fun. I've been reading more in Octobers, and I think it is thanks to this readathon. So, that being said, let me just quickly get into my TBR. Also, this adorable shirt, haunted by my TBR. Of course, I've been waiting forever, like, to film these videos to wear it, and you can't even see it, but I think it's adorable. So I wanted to make sure that you guys could see it. So let's just get into the TBR. So like I said, I chose the 3x3 board, so I only had to pick 8 prompts. I did use my center square as an any space. So they say you can either use it for a prompt, use it for a free space, or use it for like an any book spot. So the first spot on my bingo board is the middle space, and any book, and I'm not picking a book for it right now because I'm going to see if I can kind of slot in one of the other books that I have to read or I'm going to read throughout the month into that spot. So that's the first spot. Then the first prompt that I chose was the cozy prompt, and it is read a book that has cozy vibes. For that one, I'm going to be reading Lending a Paw by Laurie Cass. It is the first book in the Bookmobile Cat Mysteries, I think is what it's called. And I don't know anything about it except it's a cozy mystery. I love cozy mysteries. I kind of read them all year long, but this is like my favorite time to read them. So you'll see a couple of those on this list. But yeah, I don't really know anything about this one. I just love them. They're perfect for readathons because they're short. They are in the spirit of the season, but not scary, which is my favorite way to enjoy seasonal books in spooky season. So that's what I will be reading for that one. Next, I had Found Footage, and it is read a book of poetry written with mixed media, a short story collection, comic, manga, or graphic novel. And for this, I chose to read a manga, and I'm going to be reading E. McCoy, Now I'm in Love, I think is what the whole title is. I don't remember who the author is, but it's just a manga. I believe it's like a shoujo manga, so it's like a cutesy romantic type of manga. So that's going to be a common theme here. I don't really know that much about any of these books, and I apologize. I'm just telling you what I'm reading, so if you want to participate, maybe you can steal some of these books if you choose the same prompts as me. Next, I am doing Sweets, read a book with a romance as sweet as candy, and for this one I'm going to choose The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Laurie Gilmore. I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore last month, and it was so cute. I absolutely loved it, so I'm really excited to check out the next book in this series. The next prompt that I chose is Whispers in the Dark, and that is read a book with whisper in the title or listen to an audiobook. And for this one, of course, I'm going to choose an audiobook, and I'm going to read or listen to God Killer by Hannah Kaner. This was actually part of my Magical Readathon TBR, and I didn't get to it. I didn't even start it. I had actually meant to start it, and then I had meant to start it while I was on vacation, and it just didn't happen. I'm sorry, I inadvertently lied to some of you. I responded to comments while I was on vacation the day that I had intended to start it, and I said like, oh, I'm starting it today, I'm so excited. It didn't happen. So I'm really sorry I lied to you, but you know, It is what it is, but I'm gonna listen to it in October. The next one is Writing on the Wall, and it is to read a nonfiction book. And for this one, I'm going to read Start by John Acuff. It's just kind of like a self-help kind of book about how, I don't remember. I think the tagline is something like, most people live an average life, it's time to be extraordinary, or something like that. I've been into that kind of self-help type book recently, or in recent years, I guess. So, yeah. It's been on my wish list from the library for a while, so that's how I ended up with that one. The next one is Bloody Mary. Read a book where the author or core characters shares your first or last name, can have a different spelling. That's just kind of a side note. And for this one, I'm going to read The Peach Keeper by Sarah Addison Allen. I don't know anything about this book, but it will be my third Sarah Addison Allen, and I'm really enjoying her writing style, her storytelling style. There's just something very, I want to say whimsical, but like not in a bad way. Do most people think whimsical is bad, or is that just me? I don't know. Her stories are just very magical without being like seriously super magical. Every one of her books seems to contain, it's like a real life kind of contemporary story, except it contains just like a little bit of magic or whimsy, and it's like the perfect amount for me. So I'm really enjoying reading her books, and I'm so glad that they fit perfectly for this prompt. All right, the next one is Hunted. Read a book with hunted or hunting in the title or has a killer in the book. For this one, I'm going to read Murder in a Cape Cottage by Maddie Day. It is the fourth book in the Cozy Capers book group cozy mystery series or something like that. It has like this really long subtitle. I always forget what it is, or like series title. But basically they're a series of cozy mysteries that take place on Cape Cod. And if you don't know, I grew up not on the Cape, but very like Cape adjacent. So it's just very, it like reminds me of home. I really enjoy reading them. I think it's so fun. Like the cozy small town Cape vibes are what I grew up on. So I absolutely have loved reading that series. And then the last book is one for a prompt that I'm not actually going to tell you what the prompt is, so you're just going to have to believe me that this book fits one of the 50 prompts that were available to choose for this readathon, but I'm not going to tell you which one it fits because it is a spoiler for the first book. This is the second book in a series. I read the first book recently and absolutely fell in love with it. So the book that I'm going to choose for the mystery prompt is The Cursed by Harper L. Woods. I read the first book like a couple days ago. I finished it and I loved it so much that I ended up going out and buying the first and second book. So for this prompt, I will be reading The Cursed, but just to give you an idea, The Coven by Harper L. Woods is a book about, listen, okay, so this was not great literature. Let me just put it out there. I almost didn't read it because it has a 3.84 or something on Goodreads. So I was a little skeptical and I actually listened to the audiobook from my library because I didn't want to buy it. In this book, you are following Willow and she is a witch. The male character is Gray. She ends up enrolling in a magical school for reasons, and he's actually the headmaster there, so it has a little bit of like a forbidden romance, enemies to lovers type vibes, I guess. It's kind of hard to explain. It's very short and there's a lot happening, and to be honest, like I said, it's not great literature. It's a little, the storytelling is a little bit like convoluted and all over the place, but I loved it. It was a good time for me. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, so you're just following them at this magical school while things are happening. There's a larger kind of overarching plot. It is like a spicy romance book. Not like too terribly, but there are some spicy elements, as well as there is like a hefty list of trigger warnings. There's a lot of stuff in here. So if you are gonna read this based on this horrible review that I just gave you, check trigger warnings first because there's quite a few. And with that, those are all the books that I plan to read for Trick or Treat-a-thon. Please cross your fingers and toes that I can fit some of these books into my other projects and games that I have going on this month, because otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't read this many books. The good thing is I do have audiobooks for a lot of these, so that should make things go quicker. As I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to participate in Trick or Treat-a-thon, I will leave all of the information and links that you need listed down below in the description for you. I hope you join us. Like I said, think it's a really fun readathon. There's extra ways to earn points. They do reading sprints. They have like games, I feel like. There's non-reading prompts, I believe. They do like Instagram challenges and stuff, I think. I don't do them, that's why I'm not really 100% sure, but I just have a lot of fun participating in the sprints and just reading as much as I can and trying to get bingos and like all the different ways to get points and stuff. So if you are at all interested, I hope you will check it out and maybe join in. I am on Team Fall, so I would recommend that you ask to be on Team Fall, although I think they say that if you join late, you might not get onto your first team. I think they just put you on whatever team needs people. But either way, even if you're not on Team Fall, I hope you will think about participating. I hope you'll have a great time if you do, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.